So we're good here. We're good here. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. I'm going live on Facebook and live on Instagram. I'm just going to give a minute or so for more people to join, inshallah. We have changed our time, as mentioned yesterday, from 6:30 to 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, which is 11 p.m. UK time. All right, so just be patient with me, inshallah, for people to join. In the meantime, how's everybody doing? كيف حالكم? How's everyone? وعليكم السلام أخ صادق. كيف حالك يا أخي? How's everyone doing here? On Instagram? Rosali, how are you? Are you still in Malaysia? بخير والحمد لله. ونحن كمان. الحمد لله. Back to you as well. Okay, alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah, I'm doing all right. Jazakallah khair for asking. Jazakumullah khair. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. كيف حالكم انتو هنا? Brothers and sisters here on Facebook, how are you guys doing all right? Brother Sajid, how are you? Alaikum assalam. Sister Yasmin, Jazakallah khair for joining. How's everyone? Sister Karima, mashallah, thank you for joining. Sister Sajida, she's just back from Birmingham. She just joined. Jazakallah khair. How are you, Sister Sajida? Whoever comes in, I just greet you with salam. Melbourne online. Jazakallah khair. Subhan Ali from Melbourne. Must be what, 9 o'clock a.m. in the morning there now? Yeah, I missed Melbourne. The best steaks, but not beef steaks. No, the best kangaroo steak. I will never forget. Kangaroo steak. You know, some of you may think, really, you eat kangaroos? Halal. Halal and tayyib. But the best kangaroo steaks I've ever had in Melbourne. Yes, they eat kangaroos there. And it was halal too. I miss you too. Wallahi, I miss you. I miss everyone. Singapore. Allahu Akbar. Singapore, how are you? Shida Ahmed. كيف حالك أخي from Singapore? How are you? Sister or brother? Shida is a sister. Yeah, I'm early. UK does. All right. Sorry. Anyways, all right. So let's start, inshallah. Let's start. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wassalam ala rasulullah. Welcome back to the End of Time, lecture number 8. Alaikum salam, Kiko Leblanc. Kiko Leblanc, alaikum salam. Welcome back to the End of Time. This is lecture number 8, and we're still talking about the minor signs. We're still talking about the minor signs of the Day of Judgment. Yesterday I mentioned this hadith, and I would like to go back and just so that we can refresh our memories of that very long hadith, but I summarized it for you in such a way that there is one segment which we want to focus on today, inshaAllah ta'ala. This hadith is reported by Muslim. It's also reported by Bukhari, Imam Ahmad, Imam Tirmidhi, Ibn Majah, Ibn Hibban, but I only picked the version reported by Muslim, rahmatullah alayh. And he says, a man by the name of Abdullah ibn Buraydah. Abdullah ibn Buraydah, he says, the very first people that talked about the al-qadar, the very first people who started talking about the matters of al-qadar, meaning al-qadar is the decree. But there are a sect of people that believe that Allah Azza wa Jal only knows things as they happen. Right? So this is something that is not contemporary. This is something that happened actually a long time ago at the time of the Sahaba. So there was this group of people that started, amongst them, just subhanallah, insinuating these poisonous ideas amongst people. Something like Allah does not know things until they happen. So Abdullah ibn Murayda said, the very first people that talked about this al-qadar is a man by the name of Ma'bad al-Juhani. Ma'bad al-Juhani. So فانطلقنا, he says we went looking for some sahabi that can tell us, his opinion about these special people. So he went and they found a man by the name of Abdullah ibn Umar. Abdullah ibn Umar is a sahabi, the son of Umar ibn al-Khattab. They found him entering the masjid, so they called him and they said, Ya Abu Abdurrahman. Abu Abdurrahman is his nickname. He used to have a son by the name of Abdurrahman, so they called him Ya Abu Abdurrahman. There is a group of people who are claiming that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not know things until they happen. Allah would only know about the the present, but Allah does not know about the future. So Abdullah ibn Umar, he says, يزعمون أن لا قدر. So there's this type of people, يزعمون, they claim that there is no qadar. Abdullah ibn Umar says, إذا لقيتهم فأخبرهم أني بريء منهم وهم بريء مني. He says, if you are to meet them, let them know that I disavow what they say and do. إذا لقيتهم فأخبرهم أنني بريء منهم وأنهم براء مني. If you are to meet them, tell them that I disavow what they believe in. عليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. I disavow what they believe in. And then he says, ولو لأحد منهم مثل أحد ذهب ما قبل الله منه حتى يؤمن بالقدر. He says, if these people, they come with a mount like the mount of Uhud in gold, and they try to give it away as sadaqah, as a charity, Allah will not accept it from them until they believe in the qadar, until they believe in the decree of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay? So, and then he says, now this is the hadith. Now he says, my father told me, أخبرني أبي. My father told me, أخبرني أبي. Oh, حدثني أبي. He says, حدثني أبي. My father, narrated this story to me. بينما نحن جلوس. My father says, and who's his father? His father is Umar ibn al-Khattab. So now Umar ibn al-Khattab is saying to his son Abdullah, he's saying, بينما نحن جلوس. One day we were sitting with the Prophet Muhammad عليه الصلاة والسلام. أقبل علينا رجل. اطلع علينا رجل. شديد بياض الثياب. شديد سواد الشعر. لا يرى عليه أثر السفر. He says, we were sitting with the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ one day in a group, in some sort of halaqah. And then he says, a man which we didn't know, and he did not appear to be a traveler. Very bright clothes, very kind of like dark beard, dark, hair. He came and he sat next to the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, putting his knees against the knees of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, putting his hands on the thigh of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, and then he says, Ya Muhammad. Now he's asking him questions. Ya Muhammad, oh Muhammad, أخبرني عن ما الإسلام? What's Islam? So he's asking him questions. What's Islam? So the Prophet tells him Islam is, and then he told him about the 5 pillars of Islam. أن تشهد أن لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله أن تقيم الصلاة تأتي الزكاة تصوم رمضان وتحج البيت. The hadith of Jibreel, Jazakallah khair, that you that you believe in Allah Azza wa Jal, and you perform the salah, and you pay the zakah, and you fast Ramadan, and you perform the hajj. And then the man says sadaqt. The man says, you spoke the truth. The Sahaba said, Umar said, we're surprised that this man, who we did not know who he was, he came asking a question, and he tells the Prophet, yes, you're right. Normally when you ask a question, not normally, but sometimes when you ask someone a question, it could be a sheikh, it could be alim, it could be, whatever. You ask someone a question, and then that person maybe gives you the answer. Sometimes you argue, or maybe you ask more questions. You may say, what's your dalil? What's your evidence? If a sheikh gives you an answer, you say, what's your evidence? Do you have anything to back up your statement? But this man was telling Prophet Muhammad, and he says, yeah, you're right. Okay, what's Iman? Mal Iman? And then the Prophet told him about the 6 pillars of Iman. Iman is that you believe أن تؤمن بالله وملائكته وكتبه ورسله واليوم الآخر والقدر خيره وشره. The 6 pillars of Iman, that you believe in Allah and His prophets and His angels and His books and the qadr of Allah Azza wa Jal, and the day of judgment, and the qadr, the decree of Allah. It's good and it's bad. And then the man says, Sadaqt, you spoke the truth. And then he says, Mal ihsan. You see, Islam, Iman, Ihsan. Islam, Iman, Ihsan. The last question he says, what's Ihsan? He says, Ihsan is that you worship Allah, أن تعبد الله كأنك تراه فإن لم تكن تراه فإنه يراك. That you worship Allah as if you see Him, for if you don't see Him, He sees you. What we are talking about here is, Ihsan, it's like excellence, meaning that you have that vigilance, being vigilant that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is looking at you, anything that you do, anything that you say, before you even say it, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows about it. He's watching you. He is As-Sami', He is Al-Basir. So this is to inculcate this beautiful quality of, ihsan, that when you worship Allah, knowing that Allah is watching you subhanahu wa ta'ala. He says this is what ihsan means. Ihsan is that you worship Allah as if that you see Him, for you don't see Him, He sees you. He says sadaqt. And then he asked him about the hour. And this is what brings us to our topic today. He says, tell me about the sa'ah. Tell me about the hour. Then the Prophet says, مَسَّائِلُ عَنْهَا الْمَسْئُولُ عَنَّا بِعَلْمٍ مِنَ السَّائِلِ. He says the mas'ul, the one who's been asked, has no knowledge about it, just like the one who's asking the question. Yani meaning, you and I don't know, I have no knowledge about it. Then the man says, then tell me about its amarat. Tell me about its signs, the signs of the al-qiyamah, yani as-sa'ah. And then he says, قال أن تلد الأمة ربها أو ربتها وأن ترى الحفاة العراة العالة رعاء الشاه يتطاولون في البنيان. He gave him two signs. He says, أن تلد الأمة ربتها. That's sign number one. Sign number two, I'm going to mention sign number two first, and then we go back to sign number one, because today I want to talk about sign number one. Sign number two, he says that you see the barefoot shepherds constructing high rise. That you see the barefoot shepherds building high rise buildings. And it is something that indeed we have seen today, haven't we? Shepherds have built and are constructing, until today, are constructing high-rise buildings. A lot of you have said, the Bilad al-Arab, and without mentioning no names or whatnot, but you know what I'm talking about. Yes, we see these shepherds building and constructing high-rise buildings. So that's sign which has appeared. Sign number two. He said, number one, he says, أن تلد الأمة ربها وفي رواية ربتها, that the female slave will give birth to her owner. The female slave will give birth to her owner. Now, what is the meaning? And this is where we stopped yesterday. We stopped here about the meaning of this particular sign of the a female slave giving birth to her owner. There were three definitions to this particular, or interpretations to this particular sign. The first interpretation, قال أهل العلم أن الرجل يتزوج السيد الأمة. That the first interpretation is that a man, a free man, right, would buy a female slave. So he owns her. He owns that female slave. And then, and then that female slave, because he owns her, he will be intimate with her, so she gets pregnant. He doesn't even have to marry her because it's his slave. So he made her, and then she becomes pregnant. And then her son or her daughter grows up to become her master. She's still a slave. Right? She's still a slave. So her son or her daughter that she gave birth to, they grow up to become their mom's slave, their mom's master. That's first interpretation. Another interpretation given by the scholars is that a man buys a slave, a woman, right? And then he gets her pregnant, right? And then she gives birth to a boy or a girl or whatnot. And then he sells her again. So she goes, works out. I mean, she goes and she's bought by other people, in that country or whatnot. And then years later, she's been sold in the markets. Who comes to buy her? That son she gave birth to, or that daughter that she gave birth to. They came and they bought their own mom without even them knowing that it is their mom. The son will come as he's grown now. He goes to buy his own mother from a market who is a slave, and he does not know that she is a slave, whereas she was the one who gave him birth. So the Prophet says that تَلِدَ الْأَمَةُ رَبَّتَهَا, that the ama, the slave woman, she will give birth to her master. So this is the second interpretation. Are you following me, brothers and sisters? Are you following me, guys? On Facebook and on Instagram. Are you following so far? Because I don't want to lose you here. This is really, really important. Guys and girls, are you with me there? Yes. All right, Brother Tariq. Jazakallah khair, Brother Tariq. Guys from Facebook, you're following, right? You're following. Nam. Okay, Kiko Leblanc. Kiko Leblanc. I like the name Kiko Leblanc. All right. Jazakallah khair. Nam. All right. Okay, cool. Thank you, Layla. Here's interpretation number 3. Interpretation number 3, which was the 11:19. The entire family is watching. Allah, I'll make it worthwhile, inshallah ta'ala. I'll make it worthwhile for all of you. I'll make it worthwhile. It's late somewhere else, people are watching, so I'll make it worthwhile, inshallah ta'ala. This is why I want all of you to be here tonight, especially tonight because of this session here. Here's interpretation number 3. Interpretation number 3, according to Al-Hafidh ibn Hajar. Al-Hafidh ibn Hajar al-Asqalani, he says, كثرة عقوق بين الأولاد. كثرة العقوق فالأمور تنعكس بين يدي الساعة فيصير الولد ويعامل أمه أو أبوه معاملة السيد للأمة. Allahu Akbar. This is it. Ibn Hajar gives this beautiful interpretation. He says the meaning of a female slave giving birth to her master, it means in today's world, it means, or even at the time of what the Prophet is talking about, this did not happen at the time of the Prophet, but it happened later on. It means that there will be so much disobedience and dishonoring of the parents, so much so that some children will be treating their parents like slaves. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. This is why I said I want everybody to be here and to listen up. It means today, and this is the one interpretation which I agree with, and there is a consensus about it, that sign that the Prophet says that the female slave will give birth to her master, be it male or female, it means that there will be so much dishonoring of the parents, so much that parents will look like they are slaves with their kids. Like the kids treating, or the children treating their parents as slaves. Not obeying, not serving, commanding, ordering. Who gives the orders now? Things are upside down. You don't ask questions. Sometimes there's some parents who don't even have the urge of asking their kids for things. The kids are the one who are, وَالْعِيَادُ بِاللَّهِ, sometimes the kids are the ones who are putting the rules and the commands and the orders. Do this, do that. No, I'm not going. No, I'm not listening. No, I'm not this. This is what the Prophet ﷺ is talking about, my brothers and sisters, the dishonoring of the parents. عقوق الوالدين. So sisters and brothers, I'm going to ask you a question and you tell me, do we see this today in this world? Do we see this disobedience and dishonoring except in some houses that Allah Azza wa Jal has totally saved and blessed? But do we see this today? Jazakallah khair, Sister Jamila. You don't want to be that child, to treat your mother like that. So do we see this particular sign today? That's my question now. Do we see this sign today that some of the children and the way they treat their parents, right? The way they treat your parents is like slaves. I mean, quote unquote. Do we see it today? Because the Prophet is saying, Al-ama talidu rabbataha, that a female slave will give birth to her master. And the correct interpretation is that, the way some of the children, or maybe the majority of the children, Muslims and non-Muslims. Muslims and non-Muslims. Non-Muslims are even worse. The way they treat their parents. Yes, Sister Farhana. Sister Farhana Chaudhry, she says, almost every mom complains about this. One Sister Farhana, she says, almost every mom complains about this. Our parents are a blessing from Allah. And we will not know the value of our parents until the day they're gone. The way some of the children are treating their parents, it is something that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not pleased with. And don't think that Allah is oblivious as to what is going on today. Don't think that Allah does not know how certain children are treating their parents today. And just so you know, my brothers and sisters, whatever goes around comes around. كما تدين تدان. كما تدين تدان. والله الوالد نعمة من الله سبحانه وتعالى. والوالدة من أجل النعم, especially the moms, especially the mom. النعمة, a bounty, a blessing. The mom is a silent rahmah. A silent rahmah. Rahmah of Allah Azza wa Jal. Ummuk. Rahmah, but silent. The sun, you see the sun, you see the moon. Ummuk, she is rahmah from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is why, sisters and brothers, I said initially that the point, the aim of this series is not just to enumerate the signs and then to move on. Sign 1, sign 2, sign 3, and then I move on to the major signs. That is not the point and the aim of my lectures. The point and aim of my lectures is that we go and mention these signs and assess them and study them and try to derive lessons from them. So this is what the Prophet Muhammad is talking about. Sisters and brothers, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as you all know, has mentioned and talked about the obedience of the parents in the Quran in many ayat. In many ayat. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about the obedience of the parents. In fact, if you were to look into the Quran and how Allah Azza wa Jalla talks about the obedience of the parents in parallel with La ilaha illallah, with his tawheed. When Allah talks about tawheed, in parallel to the tawheed, Allah Azza wa Jalla talks about the importance of the obedience of the parents. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم in Surah Al-Baqarah, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وإذ أخذنا ميثاق بني إسرائيل لا تعبدوا إلا الله وبالوالدين إحسانا In Surah An-Nisa, Allah يقول وَاعْبُدُوا اللَّهَ وَلَا تُشْرِكُوا بِهِ شَيْئًا وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Al-Isra وَقَضَى رَبُّكَ أَلَّا تَعْبُدُوا إِلَّا إِيَّاهُ وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا. وَقَضَى رَبُّكَ أَلَّا تَعْبُدُوا إِلَّا إِيَّاهُ وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا. إِمَّا يَبْلُغَنَّ عِندَكَ الْكِبَرَ أَحَدُهُمَا أَوْ كِلَاهُمَا فَلَا تَقُل لَّهُمَا أُفٍّ وَلَا تَنْهَرْهُمَا وَقُل لَّهُمَا قَوْلًا كَرِيمًا واخفض لهما جناح الذل من الرحمة وقل رب ارحمهما كما ربياني صغيرا. Allah Akbar. The very first ayah Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Al-Baqarah وَإِذْ أَخَذْنَا مِيثَاقَ بَنِي إِسْرَائِيل. We took covenant from Bani Israel not to worship anyone other than Allah and be good to your parents. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah An-Nisa وَاعْبُدُوا اللَّهَ Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah An-Nisa and worship Allah and don't associate anyone with Him and be good to your parents. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Al-Isra Allah has decreed that you worship none but Him and that you be good to your parents. إما يبلغن عندك الكبر أحدهما أو كلاهما. When they reach a certain age, meaning when they grow old, like today when they are locked in their homes and they cannot go out because they are scared. They're locked in their homes, they cannot go out because they're scared. And they need help. And they need assistance. إما يبلغن عندك الكبر أحدهما أو كلاهما. إما يبلغن عندك الكبر أحدهما أو كلاهما. When they reach that certain age, that elderly age, when they need help, because when they're young, they may not need you. When they're young, they may not need you. They can do things on their own. But when they reach a certain age, that's when they need your assistance. Allah says, فَلَا تَقُلْ لَهُمَا أُفٍّ وَلَا تَنْهَرْهُمَا وَقُلْ لَهُمَا قَوْلًا كَرِيمًا. Don't even say uff to them. Don't say oh to them. Don't raise your voice at them. وَقُلْ رَبِّ ارْحَمْهُمَا كَمَا رَبَّيَانِي صَغِيرًا. And say, O Lord, have mercy upon them as they have raised me when I was a kid. وَقُلْ رَبِّ ارْحَمْهُمَا كَمَا رَبَّيَانِي صَغِيرًا. Say, O my Lord, have mercy upon them, meaning make dua for them, for your parents. Sisters and brothers, do you know that disobedience or dishonoring the parents Do you know that the dishonoring the parents is considered to be a major sin? It is considered to be a major sin. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, reported by Bukhari and narrated by Abi Bakrah, that the Prophet told the Sahaba, ألا أنبئكم بأكبر الكبائر? Don't you want me to tell you about the major sins? He's asking the Sahaba, do you want me to tell you about the major sins? And then the Sahaba said, Bala ya Rasulullah, of course ya Rasulullah, tell us about the major sins. And then the Prophet Muhammad says, Ash-shirku billah. First and foremost is to associate someone with the worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Is that you do not worship with anyone other than Allah. That's the first major sin. The second major sin is عقوق الوالدين. Look, just right after Tawheed, the Prophet Muhammad says, عقوق الوالدين, dishonoring the parents. Dishonoring the parents. Sisters, brothers, there's this hadith that scares me. There is a hadith which really scares me. ثلاثة لا ينظر الله إليهم يوم القيامة. ثلاثة. The Prophet Muhammad says, hadith reported by Nasa'i wal Basar and narrated by Ibn Umar. Are you people listening to me? Are you following me? See some of you typing, I don't know what they're typing, but are you following? The Prophet Muhammad says, ثلاثة لا ينظر الله إليهم يوم القيامة. ثلاثة لا ينظر الله إليهم يوم القيامة. The Prophet says, three types of people, Allah will not look at them in the day of judgment. You know what that means? It means that these people, they may come with mountains of ibadah, mountains of salah, of qiyam, of siyam, mountains of good deeds. But Allah will not look at them in the day of judgment. They will be amongst the losers. Thalatha, three types of people. The very first one, the Prophet says, Al-'aqqu li-walidayh. Al-'aqqu li-walidayh. The one who disobeys, who dishonors his parents, he may come with as many hajj as he wants. He or she may come with many sadaqah, Quran, even hafid, wallahi, even hafid al-Quran. But if that person has dishonored his or her parents, Allah will not look at them in the day of judgment. They will be amongst the losers. وَلَعِيَذُ بِاللَّهِ in the day of judgment. In another hadith reported by Bukhari, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, اثنان يعجلهم الله في الدنيا والآخرة. اثنان يعجلهم الله في الدنيا والآخرة البغي والظلم وعقوق الوالدين. The Prophet ﷺ says two types of sins Allah will hasten their punishment in this life before the hereafter. Two types of sins. Whosoever commits them, Allah will hasten their punishment, His punishment upon those people in the dunya before the hereafter. The first type of sin is al-baghi, al-dhulm, oppression. Oppression, dhulm, or as although people say zulm, dhulm, oppression. That's the first type of sin. The second type of sin is uquq al-walidain, dishonoring the parents, disobeying the parents. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala hastened His punishment in this dunya, meaning that these people will get their punishment in this dunya and also in the akhirah. May Allah save us all, and may Allah save our children. This is why I want the children to come here and to listen to this, because really I'm talking from my heart to all of you. And to all the children out there, because they are, in fact, they are my children. The Prophet used to say, Birru آباءكم يبركم أبناءكم. What goes around comes around. He says, بِرُّوا أَبَاءَكُمْ. Be kind to your parents, your children will be kind to you. You see how it works? He says, be kind to your parents. Your children will be kind to you. What goes around comes around. Have you heard of a man by the name of Juraysh? It's an amazing, amazing story. This man by the name of Juraysh. Hadith Juraysh, reported by Bukhari, reported by Muslim, and narrated by Abu Hurairah. A man who used to live at the time of Banu Israel. Kan abid, zahid. Very well-known abid. A very, very pious man by the name of Juraysh. Right? So what happened to him, sisters and brothers? You know what? There are only 3 people that spoke while they are still in cradle. Let me ask you this, and I want to change the mood a little bit here. There are only 3 boys, 3 babies that spoke in the mahd, meaning that spoke while they are still in the cradle, still as babies. There are only 3 in the whole world that spoke while they're still babies. 3. The first one is Isa ibn Maryam. The second one is Tifl Juraysh, which I'm going to talk about right now. Tifl Juraysh. Who is Juraysh? Juraysh used to live from Banu Israel, not Musa. Not Musa. Isa, not Musa. Isa. But there are 2 more other than Isa. Let me talk about the second one. Juraysh used to be a pious, righteous man who used to live in Banu Israel. And one day, as he was praying, he's doing his salah, but not for salah. He's just doing his salah. You know, something like not the mandatory. We're just doing his salah, the way they used to pray at the time, right? And he used to have a house of worship, like a sawma'ah, like a minaret, like a little minaret for him, and he used to go there and he used to do his prayers. Yes, the Bolush boy, Jazakallah khair. Sister Sajida, Jazakallah khair. And Jurayj. So one day his mother came to him while he was in the midst of his salah. His mother came and she said, Ya Jurayj, Ya Jurayj, Ya Jurayj. And in his salah, he said, Ay Rabbi, Ummi wa salati. Oh my Lord, in his salah, he says, oh my Lord, my mom or my prayer, my mom or my prayer. So he kept on praying. He kept on praying. He ignored his mom. He stayed in his minaret. The next day, his mother came to him, to that minaret, and she called him, and suddenly enough, he was still in his salah, doing the praying. Ya Jurayj, Ya Jurayj, Ya Jurayj. And then he goes, Ay Rabbi, Ummi wa salati. Oh my Lord, my mom or my prayer. And then he kept on praying. He ignored his mom. It's not like today, a son or a daughter, they are playing PlayStation, or they are on the internet, or they are on their social media, or they are talking on the phone with their friends. This guy was in his salah. You may say he has an excuse for not answering his mom. But what excuse does my kid or your kid have when they are on the phone or on the internet or playing and you call them and they don't answer back? Do you understand what I'm saying here? This guy in his salah, he's praying. Yani he may have an excuse. So he goes, Ya Rabbi, Ummi, am salati. Ay Rabbi, salati am ummi. Oh my Lord, my mom or my salah. So he carried on his salah. He carried on. في اليوم الثالث جاءت أمه إلى الصومعة تنادي عليه يا جريج يا جريج يا جريج. Again his mom came to him on the 3rd day, and lo and behold, he was in his prayer. His mom came calling him, he was in his salah on the 3rd day. Ya Jurayj, Ya Jurayj. He ignored her. He carried on his salah. His mom became upset. She got a little angry. She got angry. فغضبت الأم. غضبت الأم ودعت عليه. And I will tell you what his mother did. ولكن الشرع هل يجيب أمه أم يكمل صلاته? What does Islam say? If he was in his salah, what does Islam say? Should he attend to his mom or carry on his salah? Today in Islam, what does our Sharia say? Should I attend to my mom or my dad, be it, right? Or shall I carry on my salah? The Sharia say, if it is fard salah, I have to carry on my salah. If it's fard. إذا كانت الفريضة تكمل الصلاة. تكمل الصلاة ثم تروح تجيب أمك. إذا كانت النافلة, but if it's a nafila salah, if it's nafil salah, if it's sunnah salah, nafil salah, voluntary prayer, then you cut your prayer and you go and you tend to your mom if she needs you. This is what the Sharia says. This is what Islam says. يا هلا بالعمة يا هلا. يا هلا بالعمة يا هلا. يا هلا بالحبيبة يا هلا. ما شاء الله لا قوة إلا بالله. My auntie is also here watching. So the Sharia says, if you are doing fard salah, you keep your salah. But if you are doing nafil salah, you cut that salah, you stop it, and then you attend to your mom. This is what Islam says. This is what the Sharia says. This is the level and the rank of مكانة الأم في الإسلام. كرمها الله سبحانه وتعالى هذه الأم. كرمها الله بنتا، كرمها الله بنت أما، كرمها الله زوجة، كرمها الله خالة وعمة. This mom. This is if she needs you urgently. نعم. But even nafil, she calls you, you have to go. يعني if this is nafil salah, you're almost done with your nafil salah, خلاص, you can just finish it quickly and then go and attend to your mom. But if it's fard salah, do salah quickly inshallah, and then you attend to your mom. Right. So I'm saying here, sisters and brothers, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has honored the mother. He has honored her as a woman. He has honored her as a mom. He has honored her as a daughter. He has honored her as a wife. He has honored her as an auntie, as a khala. A woman in Islam, this is how Allah Azza wa Jalla has honored and elevated this woman and the rank of women in Islam. This lady, she left and she got angry. فدعت عليه فقالت اللهم لا تميته حتى تريه وجوه المومسات لا إله إلا الله. And I tell the sisters out there and all the moms, please, please, please never make dua against your son or daughter. Please, even if they get you angry and they become naughty or they disobey you or distress you, please, please, please do not make dua against them, because your dua can be answered by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. She says, this woman, Allahumma la tumit يعني هو حتى تريه هو يعني وجوه المومسات. Oh Allah, this is the dua that she made. She cursed him. She says, oh Allah, don't let him die. Don't take his soul until you get him to see المومسات. من هم المومسات والعياذ بالله العاهرات. Until you get him to meet the الزانيات, the prostitutes والعياذ بالله. This is the dua that she made against him. She cursed him. Oh Allah, don't take his soul until you trial him with the prostitutes. It's a weird, it's a very harsh dua that she made against him. And look what happened to him. Banu Israel, they're getting, talking amongst them about Juraysh and how, pious and righteous he was. And then a baghi woman, a prostitute, she came to them and she says, if you want, I can seduce him. This is what she says. She says, if you people want, I can go and seduce him. Then Banu Israel said, try to go and try to seduce him, try to interrupt him from his salah, from his sawma, from his minaret. Get him out. So she goes, this woman, this zaniya, this prostitute, she goes trying, عرضت عليه نفسها. She went and, this woman, zaniya, prostitute, she went as he was in his salah, and then she went to him. وَالْعِيَذُ بِاللَّهِ. She undressed her clothes and then she went, to try to commit zina with him. أعرض عنها فلم يلتفت إليها. He ignored her. He neglected her like she was not there. She tried. He was in his salah. So what did she do? She went to a shepherd. And then she committed zina with the shepherd. And months later, she became pregnant and then she delivered a baby. And then she took her baby and then she went to Bani Israel. Oh, Bani Israel, Jurayj, you think he is a righteous man? Yeah, Bani Israel, his baby is his. This baby is his. He committed zina with me, and he got me pregnant. This is his baby. This is his baby. So Bani Israel, they rushed to Jurayj in his sawma', in his minaret, and then they started, yelling at him and beating him up. Malakum, what happened? Why are you here? You committed zina with this woman. You made her pregnant. This is her son. Wait. He remembered the dua of his mother. When she cursed him. Even they destroyed his sawma'a. They destroyed the minaret where he used to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. قال اصبر. He says, wait. Bring me the son. They brought that baby. They brought the baby. The hadith is in Bukhari and Muslim. Very authentic. Very sound. The lady, she brought that baby, the son, still in the cradle. فقال فضربه على بطنه. He hit him slightly on his belly. He hit him on his belly. يا غلام, he says, يا غلام من أبوك? He hit him in his belly. فضربه على بطنه. فقال, and then he asked him, يا غلام, oh boy, يا غلام من أبوك? Who's your father? Who's your father, oh boy? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made the baby talk. And he says, my father is the shepherd. Allahu Akbar. What saved him from the cursing of his mom? What saved him is his taqwa, is his piety. But the essence of the story is in his salah, when he was making salah, and then his mother came to him needing his assistance, he ignored and neglected his mom. His mom made dua for him or against him. She cursed him, and Allah made that dua happen. Allah answered the dua of the mom who got angry at her boy. This is all about uquq al-walidayn and the importance of honoring the parents, my brothers and sisters. There is another long story, but because of the lack of time here, I may just, inshallah ta'ala, try to summarize it for you. Sisters and brothers, I have a question for all of you. If you want to go today, if Prophet Muhammad was in Medina, would you think twice before taking a flight and going and flying to Medina to spend some time with the Prophet and live with him, sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Right? If you were to know that Prophet Muhammad is in Medina, right, today, would you have any second thoughts of dropping everything you do and flying to Medina to meet and to see the Prophet Muhammad? Would you do that, sisters and brothers? Would you do that, sisters and brothers, all of you out there? I'm talking to you. If Prophet Muhammad was alive today in Medina, would you have any second thoughts of, not going, but you would go and get your ticket and then fly, drop everything behind you and go to Medina to see the Prophet Muhammad? Would you do that? Of course. Of course, no brainer. Of course, Tariq. Of course. Of course, who would hesitate? Who would hesitate to go out there? Yes, mean corona wala no corona. Of course, the Prophet Muhammad is there. You would just, drop everything behind you and you will go. At least you will earn the status of Sahabi or Sahabiya. The least is you will earn the status of companion or female companion. You would go, everybody would. Mahram, not mahram. I would not have time to go and look for a mahram. I just go travel. I want to meet the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. There was a man by the name of Uwais al-Qurani. Uwais bin Amir. Umar al-Khattab, he's asking people from Ahl al-Yemen, from people from Yemen. Afikum Uwais, a confederation or confederates from Yemen came to perform Hajj. Right? And then Umar al-Khattab, he met them. And then he went and asked, and he says, Afikum Uwais, is Uwais amongst you? Uwais bin Amir amongst you? Uwais came to him, a man by the name of Uwais. Uwais came and he says, yes, I am Uwais. What do you need, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen? I'm Uwais. What do you need, Amir al-Mu'mineen? He says, Uwais, min Murad, thumma min Qaran. Are you Uwais from this tribe called Murad? From this tribe called Qaran? He says, yes, I am always from this tribe called Moran, then from Qaran. He says, are you always كان بك برص فبرأت منه إلا موضع درهم? Look, the very meticulous description the Prophet is giving to these people, to the Sahaba. He says, Umar, he's telling this man, he says, are you Qawais, that the man who's been afflicted with al-baras? What's al-baras in English? I forgot. What's al-baras, Sister Yasmin? What's al-baras in English? I forgot what it's called in English. Al-baras, those white spots. What is it called in English? I forgot. Oh no, you still need a mahram. طيب, you still need a mahram, inshallah ta'ala, to travel. I'm asking, what's al-baras in English? Al-baras, that disease that leaves spots, spots, in your leprosy, zakallah khair, leprosy. Yeah, he says, are you baras? Not chicken pox, it's leprosy. Are you always, you've been inflicted with this leprosy that filled all your body except a spot as big as a coin. That's the only place that was not harmed, and touched with leprosy. Other than that, all your body was inflicted with leprosy. Are you that man? Look at the description the Prophet is giving. He says, yes, it's me. I've been afflicted with leprosy except one spot as big as a dirham, as a coin. He says, and you had a mom that you were so obedient to? He says, yes, I had a mom that was so obedient to. He says, the Prophet says, لو أقسم على الله لأبره. This man, Qawais, if he was to make qasam on Allah, Allah will answer his qasam. Allah will answer his supplication. He says, فَإِنِ اسْتَطَعْتَ. The Prophet is telling the Sahaba, whoever meets him, and if you try, if you can, ask for Allah to forgive you, ask him, tell him to ask Allah to forgive you, because his dua is mustajab, because his dua is granted. So Umar is telling this man, just so you know, brothers and sisters who are in Instagram, if this thing cuts off, I'm gonna launch it again, inshallah ta'ala, okay? If it reaches 1 hour, if it cuts off, I'm gonna launch it again. Just so you know, those from Instagram, those from Facebook, you're all good, inshallah. So the Prophet is telling the Sahaba, if you meet this man and you see him, if you try, if you can ask him to make istighfar for you, ask him. So Umar bin Khattab, this is Umar from the Mubashirin bil Jannah. He is from the 10th people that Allah Azza wa Jal, that the Prophet Muhammad has mentioned that they are already from the people of Jannah. Umar, wa ma adraka ma Umar. Who's Umar? So Umar is telling this man, istaghfir li Uwais. Oh, Uwais, please ask Allah to forgive me. Ask Allah to forgive me. So Uwais said, Allah ghafar Allahu lak. May Allah forgive you. What's the essence of the story? The essence of the story is that this man, Uwais, had a mom that he was so obedient to. And then he needed him. And he had a choice between going to visit the Prophet Muhammad in Medina and to stay in Yemen. So he stayed in Yemen to look after his mom. He stayed in Yemen to serve his mom. He stayed in Yemen to assist his mom until the Prophet died. Until the Prophet died, his dua is mustajab. The Prophet heard about him and he said, if you were to meet this man, ask him to make dua for you because his dua is mustajab. The obedience of the parents. The honoring of the parents, especially the mom. Sisters and brothers. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, I'm almost done. Please be patient with me because this is so important. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam entered Jannah. This hadith reported by Imam Ahmad and An-Nasa'i. It is very sound and authentic. Very sound and authentic. The Prophet says, دخلت الجنة. I entered Jannah. فسمعت قراءة في الجنة. Allahu Akbar. The Prophet entered Jannah. This is when he was ascended into the heavens. He says, فسمعت قراءة في الجنة. I heard a sound of somebody reciting the Quran in Jannah. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. The Prophet entered Jannah and then he heard the sound of someone reciting the Quran in Jannah. So the Prophet said, قلت من هذا? He asked Jibreel, من هذا? قيل لي حارثة النعمان. I asked Jibreel, whose sound is this? Whose sound is this? You know, this person reciting the Quran in Jannah. Jibreel says, this is Harith ibn Nu'man. Harith ibn Nu'man, a Sahabi. The Prophet says, كَذَلِكُمُ الْبِرْ. That's what bir does. Why Harith ibn Nu'man? Harith ibn Nu'man, sisters and brothers, was known amongst the Sahaba to be the most obedient to his mom, the most obedient to his dad, the most obedient to his parents. That earned him Jannah. For the Prophet to hear him reciting the Quran in Jannah, the Prophet says, كَذَلِكَ الْبِرْ. This is what bir does. What's bir? Bir means all good are to the parents. All good. Al-bir. He says, this is what bir does. This is the obedience of the parents. It earns you al-Jannah. It grants you al-Jannah. May Allah grant our children al-Jannah. May Allah grant our loved ones al-Jannah. Ameen, 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 ameen. Some of you may say, and I will end with this inshallah ta'ala, some of you may say, but Shaykh, have passed away. What can I do now to be obedient or to honor them? If they have passed away, how can I honor them now? There is so much that you can do to honor your parents. Hadith reported by Imam Ahmad. I only mentioned hadith. Hadith reported by Imam Ahmad. Hadith reported by Ibn Hibban and At-Tirmidhi. Rated by Abu Ubaid, Sahl al-Sa'idi, Abu Usaid al-Sa'idi. Abu Usaid al-Sa'idi said, a man from a tribe called Abi Salama, he came to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He says, Ya Rasulullah, هل بقي من بر أبوي شيء? His parents died. So he says, هل بقي من بر أبوي? My parents have died. Is there anything that I can do to honor them after they have passed away? The Prophet says, نعم. قال نعم. He says, yes, of course there is. And then he mentioned 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. At least he says, number one. He says, number one, as-salat alayhima, mean making dua for them. That's number one. Making dua for them, number one. Number two, istighfar for them, seeking forgiveness for them. That's number two. This is things that you can do for your parents, even if they have, in their graveyard, still do this for them. Pray for them, seeking istighfar for them, seeking forgiveness for them. Infad ahdihima, meaning if they have a wasiyah, a will, you have to fulfill their will. If the parents have died and they have left a will, a wasiyah behind them, you have to fulfill their will that you can do to honor them. Silat al-rahim, to tie the ties of kinship. To ties, التي لا تصل إلا بهما. Your father was a friend, like ikram sadiqihima, and this is number 5. Ikram sadiq, to honor one of their friends. Let's say your father had a friend, a very close, honor that friend. Your mother has a very close friend, honor that friend. These are things that you could do for your parents even after the death, my sisters. But to the kids out there, the children out there, I'm not going to wait for my parents to die to serve them and to honor them. You have a chance today. You have a chance today. If your parents are alive, if you are listening to this with me here today, if your parents are alive today, don't wait until they die to honor them. Honor them today. Honor them today. Make them happy today. Serve them today. Assist them today. However you treat them today, Allah will affect you or bless you with kids that will treat you the same. And last but not least, a little kid came to tell his mom, why women cry? Why women cry? She says, because I'm a woman. You wouldn't understand. I'm a woman. He goes to his dad, Dad, why mom cries? Well, because she is a woman. Because she is a woman. I'm going to end Instagram and I'm going to go launch it live again, inshallah, because there's only 20 seconds left. I'm going to end this and I'm going to launch it live again. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, so the boy who tells his mom, why do you cry? She says, because I'm a mom. He goes to his dad, why mom cries? He says, because she's a woman. So he doesn't understand, nothing makes sense to him. Nothing makes sense why women cry until he grows up. And he met a sheikh who asked him, he asked him this question. He says, why do women cry? Why women cry? He says, this sheikh, this wise man, he says, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed this woman, a woman in general, a woman. Allah Azza wa Jalla has blessed women with a heart, huge heart. Whatever you do and whoever, subhanAllah, from her kids, they deceive her or maybe break her heart, she will always love them. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed her with huge arms. When they see the family sometimes disperses, she gathers, she brings them back, she assembles them, and then Allah Azza wa Jalla blessed her with huge, shoulders. When the family goes down, she brings them up. And then he says, but she is woman. Allah Azza wa Jalla also has blessed her with tears, because she has feelings, right? She gets hurt. Allah, for the way to deal with her feelings sometimes, the way to relieve herself sometimes, by being deceived or whatnot, is by those tears. He says, respect the tears of women. Respect the tears of your moms, brothers and sisters out there, the husbands who are out there. Respect the tears of your wives, sisters, brothers, whoever is there. Please, ummuk. I always say, and I'm going to say it, and this is it. I will say it. Maybe you have heard it from me before. I'm going to say it again. Everything can be replaced. Everything can be replaced. Your friends can be replaced, and your laptop can be replaced, and your phone can be replaced, and your business can be replaced, and your house can be replaced. Your PlayStation can be replaced. Everything can be replaced. Your mom, she cannot be replaced. The day she goes, the day she leaves, the day she dies, the day she moves, nobody can replace your mom. Ummuk. And your dad, of course. Nobody can replace them. Can anyone replace the mom? Nobody can replace your mom. I just think of that day. May Allah forbid. Think of that day. Think of that day when you just buried your mom. That very special day, that day when you just buried your mom or your dad. Those of you, there's some brothers here whose dad has passed away, or moms have passed away. That very same day when you just buried your father or your mother, then you came back home. That same day. That very same day. Your father is not there. Your mom is not there. You can see his shoes still. You can see her shoes. You can see your father or your mother, their abaya. You can see your father's robe. You take it and you smell their fragrance, but they're not there. The smell is there maybe, but they're not there. You see her wardrobe. You see her clothes. That very same day. She was with you last night. And that day you just came back from the cemetery, you just buried her or you buried him. And I tell the brothers and the sisters out there, may Allah forbid, even don't want to talk about it, or I don't even want to think of it. If you were here. So sisters and brothers, this is it. Let's bring the ends of this session today, inshallah ta'ala. The minor sign that the Prophet Muhammad mentioned, that taridul ama rabbataha or rabbaha, that this woman who will give, a slave woman who will give birth to her master. The interpretation of that is that we see today a lot of disobedience happening towards our parents. So sisters and brothers, inshallah ta'ala, I hope you take heed. I hope our sons and daughters take heed and learn from this lesson. Enjoy and cherish, really, wallahi, cherish your parents. Cherish your parents if they're alive. Value that time that you spend with them, because sisters and brothers, one day you would wish that they were there and they're no longer there. One day you would wish and you would hope only for one last looking at your mom or your dad, but your mom or your dad will not. So cherish that time and cherish that moment, inshallah ta'ala. May Allah bless you and bless your parents and bless your loved ones. May Allah bless our children's. بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. اللهم اهدنا فيمن هديت وعافنا فيمن عافيت وتولنا فيمن توليت. اللهم اهدنا واهدي بنا واجعلنا سببا لمن اهتدى. Oh Allah, we ask you by every name that we know, and we ask you by every name which we do not know. We ask you by your greatest name. Those amongst us whose parents are still alive, oh Allah, protect them, guide them, strengthen them, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Preserve their health, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Those amongst us whose parents are still alive, Ya Rabbi, Ya Arhamar Rahimin, Ya Arhamar Rahimin, Ya Arhamar Rahimin. Guide them and protect them, Ya Rabbi, from this virus and from any ill, Ya Rabbil Alameen, and from any evil and from any disease, Ya Arhamar Rahimin. We know, Ya Rabbil Alameen, that we have not been so obedient to them and we're not being so honorable to them, Ya Rabbil Alameen. We know and we admit, Ya Arhamar Rahimin, that we have wronged them so many times and we have broken their hearts so many times and we have deceived them so many times. But we are who we are, they are who they are. We are who we are and they are who they are, and you are who you are. We are the sinners. Our parents, they are the ones who have mercy towards us. And you are the oft forgiven who forgives all the sins and shortcomings, Ya Rabbil Alameen. And those amongst us whose parents have passed away, Ya Rabbil Alameen, shower your mercy upon them. Shower your mercy upon them, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Enlarge their grave, Ya Rabbil Alameen, and make them see their accommodation, their place and their rank in Jannah, inshaAllah ta'ala. Ya Rabbil Alameen, forgive our shortcomings towards our parents. Ya Allah, guide our children, guide them, Ya Rabbi. We forgive them, I forgive, Ya Rabbil Alameen, you forgive, we forgive them, Ya Rahman, Ya Rabbi, just guide them, because we cannot guide our children. We can only provide directions, but we cannot guide. The only one who can guide is you, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Guide them and make them, Ya Rabbi, love you. Make them love you more than they love anything else, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Make our children put your love before anything else, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Ya Arhamar Rahimin, Ya Arhamar Rahimin, Ya Arhamar Rahimin, Ya Arhamar Rahimin. Fill our homes and our houses, with serenity. Fill our homes and houses with prosperity. Fill our homes and houses with joy and happiness, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Fill our homes with joy and happiness, Ya Arhamar Rahimin. Fill our homes with peace, Ya Rabbil Alameen, Ya Arhamar Rahimin, Ya Arhamar Rahimin. Those amongst us who are sick, Ya Rabbi, grant them shifa, grant them the cure, Ya Rabbi, hasten the cure, grant them the cure, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad, صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون والسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. All right, my brothers and sisters, Jazakumullah khair for attending. May Allah Azza wa Jal bless you. May Allah reward you. Barakallah fik, shidda al-qada wa khafd al-janah masakin. Ameen. Allahumma ya Rabbi barik fikum. Allahumma taqabbal minna wa minkum. May Allah accept. Jazakumullah khair for attending, inshallah ta'ala. Tomorrow, same time, same venue, same place, inshallah. Talking more about more science, inshallah. More science. Barakallahu fikum. Jazakumullah khair. It was a long session today, but I think it was worth it. I think it was worth it for me. I don't know about you, but I think it was worth it for me. Although it was long, but I think it was for me, because I need this more than even you. Really, truly. I needed this session more than you, and Allah is my witness. Jazakumullah khair. Ameen. Thank you. All righty. Barakallahu fikum, sisters and brothers. Barakallahu fikum. Barakallahu fikum, brothers on Facebook. May Allah bless you all. Barakallahu khair, brother Sadiq. Jazakallah khair. Shukran ala maji'ik. Shukran. Mashkoor. Allah yaqabbal min brother Hajj. Jazakallah khair for joining. Those of you in different countries. Those of you in all over the world, whatever you are, May Allah Azza wa Jal accept from you. May Allah accept from you. But yeah, you're asking if my parents are alive. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah, they're still alive. I speak to them, almost every day. I spoke to them yesterday. Alhamdulillah. They're home. They're not coming out. So if I'm over 50 years old, I am over 50 years old, think how old my parents are. They're pretty old, alhamdulillah. May Allah Azza wa Jal grant them just life, inshallah. Ameen, ameen, ameen. Jazakallah khair. Barakallahu fikum. All right, sisters and brothers, barakallahu fikum. Brother Muhammad Jabbar, you're here. I'm so happy. Allah Akbar. I'll put a like right there. I'm going to go back and put likes on all these comments, inshallah ta'ala, and answer those questions. If I missed any question, there's 160 comments on Facebook. So I'm going to go back, inshallah ta'ala, after I save this, and then come back and answer all your comments, inshallah ta'ala. Sisters and brothers from Instagram, jazakumullah khair. We'll see you tomorrow, inshallah ta'ala. Barakallahu feekum. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you. Right here. Right. Oh, no, right here. My heart is here. Not here. My heart is here. Thank you for the hearts. Jazakumullah khair. We'll see you tomorrow, inshallah. Brothers from Facebook, jazakumullah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm going to save this. The lecture will be on Facebook. It will be saved. Assalamu alaikum.